All right, and we're back. Thanks for letting us know that the audio was not working. We have just fixed that. So, welcome to Seller's Pulse. This is an informative series. We are on our episode 2. So, this series helps Amazon sellers understand a few basic structure of Amazon and second, increase your sales velocity. So, I see a few people already joining in. I love your profile picture. If you don't know already, I have that picture right up here. The painting is right here for me too. So great to see a follower Vermeer fan here. So talking about Amazon now, we are covering editorial recommendations and Amazon advertising, two very important things that will help you in your product marketing strategies. So first, we are going to be meeting the speakers. We have Kurt from Seller Rocket, who is really excited to start on Amazon editorial recommendations. And of course, we have the director of marketing, Priyanka Bhora, who's going to be talking about Amazon advertising. If you all have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. We will be answering all your questions towards the end of the session. So our speakers have amazing presentations prepared for us. We'll be going through that first. Thank you, Jonar, for letting us know that all is working now. Thank you so much. All right, so it's time for us to meet the speakers. I'm going to invite them up on the stage right now. So starting with Kurt from Seller Rocket. Hi, Kurt. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Ria. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. And then we have Priyanka Bora, the Director of Marketing at SellerApp. Thank you so much for being
Hello,
here.
Ria. Hi, nice meeting you.
Yeah, so we have two very interesting topics today. First is Amazon advertising, and second is editorial recommendations. Both really important when it comes to product marketing. So now that Prime Day is coming up, I want to touch base on how important it is for us to talk about editorial recommendations and advertising. So starting with you, Kurt, could you tell us why editorial recommendation is a good way to form your Prime Day strategy?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways you can market your products on Amazon. It seems like everybody uses, PPC against each other, but sometimes you need another tool to help set you apart from your competition. And some people have been picked up organically for the editorial recommendations, and that's great. They see really good results from it. But being able to control that situation, or at least have a little bit more control over it. There's no ultimate control on Amazon, but to have a
That
little bit of
is
control, it's
That
very
is
helpful.
very well said. There is no ultimate control over Amazon because we were just talking about it, right? I see a lot of influencers and a lot of, seller educational sites talking about the right strategy to, run your advertising campaigns, the right strategy to, scale your business. But when it comes to Amazon, we have realized that there is no right strategy. There's a strategy that works for you and you stick with it. So, Priyanka, talking about Amazon advertising, Prime Day is approaching. It is really important for you to have a good advertising strategy. So, what do you think about the upcoming Prime Day, and why is it important for sellers to focus on their advertising campaigns right now?
I would say advertising is important whether or not you have Prime Day, you know what I mean? But primarily more so, of course, you want to give out all those discounts and deals and lightning deals and all that. You want to encourage people to get your products. You also want to, target the audience or retarget the people that have probably come on your, page but not really bought it. So you want to, really encourage them to do that. So I think advertising is extremely important, and there are certain targeted days that we have, such as Prime Day, for sellers to be able to do that. So I think it's great to have, Prime Day events like these.
Definitely. If you haven't checked out already, we are having a Prime Day series every Thursday on our social media platforms. So make sure you check them out because this tomorrow we are going to be talking about listing optimization. So the session structure is going to look a bit like that. We are going to start with editorial recommendations, and then Priyanka is going to talk about advertising, and then we move on to Q&A. So starting with you, Kurt. Priyanka, I'm going to put you back in the green room. So thank you for that. And starting with you, Kurt. So for those of us who don't know what Amazon editorial recommendations are, could you fill us in on that?
Absolutely. So I'm going to give actually a kind of a high level overview of working with publishers in general, not just the editorial recommendations, but some of the other content that they put out, maybe on their website or through newsletters. But it's all really the same interaction, working with publishers or Amazon affiliates to help help your business on Amazon.
Definitely. So, while you share your screen, I am going to engage with the audience. So, for those of you watching right now, let us know where you're watching from. So, you can say hi, and I'm watching from this geo. It will help us curate our content better in a way. So, I see your presentation, and you're up on the screen right now.
All right, thank you. So SellerRocket, we do PR for e-commerce. I think that's a good way to summarize it. I would say we're not like a traditional PR agency. We're more of like a software enabled PR. Here's some history on SellerRocket. We were established in 2019. Company leadership founded other major publishing companies that excel in the affiliate content. I'm looking at best reviews there. One of our company's founders was a founder there. And Best Reviews has been one of Amazon's top affiliates, since that program started. And so they were one of the publishers that Amazon invited for the pilot. They found success in driving affiliate revenue for themselves through the on-site publishing program. That's what Amazon calls the editorial recommendations. And now we help over 100 publishers to drive affiliate revenue for themselves and succeed in that on-site publishing program. When I say publisher, these are the types of entities that I'm talking about: BuzzFeed, Forbes, Best Reviews, Wirecutter, LA Times, Good Housekeeping. They're typically like a newspaper writer, or they put out magazines, but they've all sort of shifted to the digital side of things, and they're writing a lot of product reviews, and people trust their opinion because they're a big name. So there's the editorial recommendations that are found on Amazon, and then there's also the recommendations that are found on the publisher's website, and you can find those through Google by searching like, hey, what are the best massage guns? I notice anytime I add best to my search term on Google, it brings up so many more review sites. So how do products get featured? You can get picked up organically. The publishers are usually looking at the top of their category that they want to cover and then choosing a few of the products if they don't have any relationship with any of the brands. That can kind of be like they're shooting in the dark. Sometimes you'll see editorials with really strange products and you'll wonder how those even got there. The publishers write a lot of those editorials just hoping that something sticks to Amazon. You could also work through a traditional PR agency. They have relationships with different publishers. I think, I'm not sure about pricing. It can vary from one agency to the next, and depending on what tier of agency that you're working with. There's also affiliate programs. Share Sale is one that I hear quite a bit. Reversions, Commerce, Impact. You could also do this yourself if you just send a lot of emails to the publishers. Out of the thousands of sellers that I've talked to, though, it's less than 5. It's honestly probably 2 or 3 that have gotten in touch with the publisher and got something created for themselves. Publishers could charge as much as they want for this content. We've heard that some of them charge $5,000 for a placement, and then another $5,000 if you want the attribution data from that. See what Amazon is giving them credit for. And one publisher told our client that they'd be given an account manager if they had a $25,000 advertising budget with them, but if not, just to go through DSP to advertise on their site. But it could be free, depending on which publisher you get in touch with. For the Amazon editorial recommendations, they're not supposed to accept any payment for that. Otherwise, they have to mark it as sponsored. So we don't pay the publishers for the editorial recommendations. And we're, of course, down here at the bottom of the list is another way that you can get your products featured. So quickly, I want to talk about the editorial recommendations. It is the On-Site Associates Program, the OSP program. These publishers, it says here that where does the content come from? It says it's syndicated from the content creators' websites, but I think the reality of this is that these publishers, they have been invited into the program, and I think they have an RSS feed with Amazon that they're just uploading the content already formatted for Amazon, and then Amazon just approves it. Sometimes you will find the exact same article on a publisher's website, though. It's pretty common. I mean, they already did the work. They might as well copy and paste it into the other system. So here's the editorial recommendations. They typically appear on higher volume search terms, more generic terms also. If you're looking for the best golden or the best gold coffee press, I don't think you would find one on that specific keyword, but they are based on SEO. So if you were looking for the best coffee press, you might find it there. And searching for the best gold coffee press, you may see an editorial for the best coffee press. Amazon attributes sales to these publishers based on 24-hour cookie and last click. So from our perspective, we see a lot of these sales not being attributed to the publisher. It's always less than 10% of the totals as far as we've seen. Amazon is deciding the attribution, so they get to decide if it's an advertising sale, they get to collect the revenue. If it is an organic sale, they don't have to pay anybody. And if it's an affiliate sale, they have to pay the affiliate. So I think Amazon is very good about making sure the money stays with Amazon. They're not going to pay anyone for a sale if they don't have to. So these editorials, they show based on SEO. The title is typically what gets the editorial show on a specific keyword. They're usually titled "The Best Vacuum" or "The Best Air Fryer." And so if you're looking for those editorials, sometimes you can type "Best Air Fryer" and that will appear just because you're nailing the SEO. There could be multiple editorials on a single search term, and Amazon's always going to display the best converting editorial. So yeah, sometimes there's a really strong article and we might not be able to replace it unless we have very, very strong products. The effect that these editorials have, it helps your ads convert at a better rate. PPC becomes much more efficient, less clicks, more purchases, or a better ratio of clicks to purchases. It helps your organic rank. We don't measure the effect that it has on organic rank, but I think it causes you to show up and be more relevant for the keywords that are in the title of the article. Here is the process of getting access to these editorial recommendations, at least for us. So the brand provides SellerRocket with the ASINs that you'd like to be supported and choose how you'd like them to be promoted. We submit those ASINs to our publisher network. Our dashboard matches the ASIN to a publisher that either has an article that your product would fit with, or if there's no matches, then we will pitch to a publisher that covers your category for a new article to be written. And for the publishers, they just have to write a few paragraphs, and then if it works on Amazon, they get paid. So they're willing to write a new article most times. The tricky part is that Amazon approves all of these editorials before they get published. So that's step 5 here. Amazon moderates the article. If it passes moderation, then it gets displayed. And right now, the timeline is 8 to 12 weeks for an editorial to be published. So we're a little late for Prime Day, but this is definitely good for Q4. Anybody who starts now, it should be around August that our articles could be going live. So if your products sell well in Q4, we should talk, see if this is a good fit. Native publisher content. This is offsite. This we can get going in 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. So this could be another avenue. These articles will stay up long term. They rank on Google, good SEO. We're able to provide you with data for all of this. We get the sales that Amazon is attributing to the publisher. Because the publishers are marketing for Amazon though, and not for the individual brands, they do not get order IDs. So the way that you would match this up to Seller Central to verify the sale is the ship date, the ASIN or child variation, and the sale price. But again, Amazon is going to make sure that they don't pay out for any sales that they don't have to. So we find this data to be very accurate, but we don't think that this is the full scope of the effect that the editorials are driving. Sometimes the attribution just isn't reflective of the performance. I have one client that, based on what's being attributed, it looks like they're running at a 45% ACOS, but on their side, they're up 55% overall. So it can have a drastic effect on your sales. We don't do that anymore. We will in soon. I have a case study that we can go through. Are we good on time?
Yeah, we've got 5 minutes, so we're good
Okay.
on time. Yeah.
Perfect. So in this case study, we were working with a supplement brand, and right now we have some limitations on supplements. Amazon does not allow editorials to be published for supplements, but the publishers on their websites can feature them, and there we have some slots that we can fit products in, especially if they're strong. And the supplement restrictions, I don't know if they're going to stick around or not. Last year, between May and October, they were allowing these editorials to be published again, and before that they were restricted. So it seemed like they started to open things up when COVID got better, but then it got worse in October. So I'm not sure if that's Amazon's logic or if they are just not going to let these go live again, but we're hoping that it comes back.
Right. Kurt, I actually have an insight on that. So, we have a lot of clients selling supplements too, and we realized that after COVID hit, supplements kind of got gated as a category on Amazon. That's mainly because a lot of supplements started coming in because, everyone got a little health conscious. They want to build up their immunity. They want all the supplements that they can find in the market. And a lot of supplements did not have the adequate certificates that they needed, and they did not have, like, especially if you're storing it in Amazon warehouse, they did not have the specifications on the ideal temperatures that you need, so the product doesn't go bad. So Amazon had to gate that category because of COVID, and I think that's reflecting here as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What we've noticed is that if 100 articles get submitted to the publishers for supplements, maybe one gets through, and maybe that's the reasoning, or it could just be the one person at Amazon who gets to approve it and they're new. So they just said, yeah, that one looks good.
Yeah, but it's mainly because it's gated, I feel. But go ahead.
All right, so in this case study, we placed this brand in a few pieces of content that were on the publisher's website. This was to help boost their organic ranking. They had dropped onto the second page for their search terms and needed some help getting back up on the page. So we placed them in 3 articles on publisher websites. We placed them in 1 Amazon editorial recommendation, but it was showing up on 3 different search terms: beetroot, organic beetroot powder, beetroot powder. Here is how their results panned out. Now we had to get some data from the brand while we were doing this because we don't know what their sales are on their end. But we saw 7% in the middle column is what I'm looking at here. So in this middle column, 7% of their sales were attributed to the publisher in our dashboard. We got a record of the sale. Another 9% is what the brand saw on their end, just an improvement from being moved up higher on the search page. And honestly, we started working with so many more publishers since this time. So I think now we can definitely drive better results. Specifically for supplements, we started working with Sports Illustrated, and they drive really good results, especially for the pages. They have really good SEO, so they can rank on the first page of Google. Yeah, they can be very good. Anyways, in this third column, this is when the Amazon editorial was published. So we were seeing 9% of their revenue attributed to the publishers in our dashboard. Another that same 7% was coming from the native publisher content being featured on the publisher's website. And then on the brand side, they were seeing a 52% improvement in their organic, or it could also be PPC mixed in there. We did not get separate results to see how much of that revenue was from their PPC, how much of it was actually organic. But overall, 53% improvement in their sales. Organic rank improved from the 60s to the 20s. And most of the effect that you see is a halo effect, not necessarily the attribution.
Got it. Kurt, before we move forward, John R is asking how old this example is. Could you clarify that?
This is from last year.
This is from last year. Got it.
Yeah, this is from April 2021 is when this article is from.
Got it.
Here are some best practices. So make sure that your product has 100 reviews and at least 4 stars. That is the very minimum that the publishers will accept into an editorial. It does not mean that that's a guarantee of performance. Christmas decorations. Christmas decorations, that is a good question. So editorial recommendations are not great for really seasonal products. I should have built out this presentation a little bit further. We just in the last 2 weeks started providing another service that's more of a short term, and it's offsite. It is we're getting, sorry about that.
All right. Till you're going for a walk, Kurt. If you all have any questions, let us know.
I'm gonna go find a quiet area.
Yeah, till you're taking a walk, I'm going to quickly just introduce or say hello to everyone who's joined recently. I see amazing. We have such a diverse audience watching right now. I see one from Hong Kong. There's Southern California. There is Mexico City, Pakistan. So thank you so much for being here. And if you are enjoying the session right now, do not forget to check out SellerApp's YouTube channel, where we have in-depth guide video for you all on how you can ace your business on Amazon and increase your sales velocity on Amazon. Of course, increase your profits on Amazon. So check those video out, and do not forget to subscribe to SellerApp's channel. We have amazing content, guys. Okay. Thank you, Richard, for telling us where you're from. Columbus,
Richard,
Ohio.
you're in Columbus too? I'm in Columbus.
Yep. Okay, great. Go ahead with your best practices because we're running out of time. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So just make sure that your products have at least 100 reviews and 4 stars. It's really important that your products rank on page 1 of the Amazon search results organically for the search terms that you want to be recommended on. Because the editorials show up based on SEO and how well they convert, you need to convert well on that page in order for the editorial to stick there. I've had some situations where a product just barely met those qualifications and they wanted me to stick them on an editorial that was on fitted sheets. And if you look up best fitted sheet, it will, there's an editorial there that has every product with 20,000 reviews on it, and their product had about 130. So it wasn't going to convert better than those humongous products that were in that editorial. That's all.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Kurt, and thank you for answering all the questions as well. If you all have any more questions regarding editorial, Kurt will be answering them towards the end of the session. So I actually have a doubt, mainly because I'm like new to the whole world of recommendations. So when my product is getting displayed with the keyword best with more products, does that not decrease the conversion rate for me, because I am competing with a lot more product with the same keyword? So let me know. What do you think about that?
I would say that the editorial recommendations, even if you're being compared to other products, you're going to get compared to other products. There's no getting around that. That's the way. That's how they work. And I've found that the editorial, it helps for the customers that are undecided. They're not loyal to any particular brand and they need some advice. And so it really just narrows down that whole page to 3 products that are being shown in that editorial.
Makes
So,
sense, actually.
and we typically get products placed in the first position. The first position makes 30 to 50% of the revenue for the whole editorial. So the focus is going to be on your product. Even if you're next to your biggest competitor, you should be winning. And you'll have data behind it. We have multiple editorials going for you. It's not just one and then done. It's, it's comprehensive effort. So
Sounds great. And turns out that John R has booked a time with you tomorrow. So you'll be speaking to one of our viewers right now. That's amazing. And
it's John Rutherford.
I'm not sure. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here, Kurt. I am going to get Priyanka Bhora on the screen right now because we are going to be talking about Amazon advertising. So I'm going to put you back in the green room and bring you up for the questions later on. Okay. Okay, then moving on to the most interesting part of the session, which is advertising, because everyone wants to know how they can bring the traffic from external sources to internal sources. But it is really important for you to bring or make sure that your internal traffic on Amazon is on point. And I'm going to invite Priyanka Bhora to speak about that because she is going to give you an amazing overview of Amazon advertising, how it can help your ranking. So over to you, Priyanka. Let's get started.
Awesome, awesome. So typically the topic I would be covering today would be how to rank high on Amazon in 2022. And that's when I would cover all the other aspects of, what will reach, help me rank better. And of course, advertising is a part of that. So I am going to just share my screen now.
Sounds good. And let us know if you have any advertising related questions that we can answer for you. So,
So
just waiting for your presentation. It is John.
you guys
Uh,
see the screen.
yeah, your screen is up right now. Great. We're good to go.
There you go. All right. Perfect. Perfect. So just a little intro myself here. I am director of marketing here at SellerApp. It's quite surprising that I have more of finance experience than marketing, but I have worked in various diverse financial roles prior to getting in this e-commerce space and getting into the digital marketing space of things. I've handled multi-million dollar deals and worked across US, Singapore, Dubai, now in India. And I have been with SellerApp for over almost a year now. So excited about that. Also, completing my 1 year anniversary. So yeah. And let's get started. I'll talk about the importance of a proper keyword research. That's where the basic foundation lies. And I will touch upon that. So what is Amazon keyword research? It's really a process of finding all the relevant keywords for a product. Now, these relevant keywords are those search terms that a potential customer uses in order to find your product. Let's take an example. So I'll take an example of a foldable camping chair. One buyer may search for the product using this exact same keyword, but others may also search for, let's say, just camping chairs or foldable outdoor chair, or even like small portable chairs. All of these search terms indicate that they're really looking for a product which is very similar to the one that you've just started selling. So you really need to include all of these keywords in your product listing or your backend search terms. Okay, now why do we do Amazon research? Although Amazon is a marketplace, it is also something else. It's actually a search engine just like Google. So Amazon really makes money from all of these products that they sell. So what they want is its marketplace sellers to really do well because they're obviously making money from them and to be able to sell their products. Amazon do get their bread and butter and primary of majority of the revenue does come from them. So the search engine's most important goal here is to give search results that contain relevant and high converting product listings for the customers. Now, this is why keyword research is extremely important. With good search optimization and listing optimization, your product will really be up on those Amazon search pages, on the search ranks, which really make it the first product listing that a potential customer would want to see or sees after submitting the search term in the Amazon search. So what they typically do is do result in more conversions and also better rank. Okay, Amazon A9. I'm going to also touch upon Amazon A9 algorithm. It is, in Amazon system, typically A9 algorithm is what they use to decide how products are really ranked in their search results. It uses keywords in really deciding which results are the most relevant to the customer searches, and displays them first. So this is quite similar to actually Google search algorithm, I would say, but there's one key difference. Amazon actually puts more emphasis on sales conversions, and unlike Google, Amazon is a business and they are interested in promoting products that are more likely to end up in a sale. So I'm rank products which have a good, strong sales history, conversion rates, all of that. Now, also one thing to remember that products that are really highly ranked will receive better traffic and thus will have better chance of generating higher sales and conversions, of course. So high sales figures will in turn boost your product ranking. So it does kind of go on. It's like a wheel, right? Now, factors to consider while researching keywords. Now, there are a couple of factors that I would want to talk about, and the first being search volume of the keyword. Evaluating a keyword's popularity, one of the best ways to really begin your product research. And as you may already probably know, the more people search for a particular term, the higher will be the number of potential customers really visiting that product page if you target that particular product. So the trick is to really find those keywords that have a decent amount of search volume with moderate to low competition, and you're pretty sorted in terms of your listings. Um, search term, search volume trends of the keyword. Now, does the search volume for a keyword change over time? Well, the answer to that is yes. You will get to know if you're experiencing a few of your product listings underperforming for some of those search queries. You can also look at some of those monthly trends for a keyword to see really how your traffic has changed from several search queries or how it has fluctuated in recent times. And though not all the keywords have noteworthy upward or a downward trend, most do. So especially if your keywords are very seasonal, for example, like the best Christmas gift or the best New Year gift for women, or even if you take, let's say, home improvement keywords, they may really, they will have a seasonal trend. They may rise during summers and spring and probably decline, during the winters and so on. So, you really want to kind of be cognizant of that as well. Keyword difficulty or competition. So choosing high volume keywords is also just a great first step, but what it will do or how it will rank on the Amazon SERPs is really not something that you want to estimate, right? The answer is actually that you want to really use a good keyword that fetches search trends on Amazon, and you want to check for keywords competition. So this number will sort of give you an idea if there is a chance for your ranking or product listing, for ranking for your product listing, basically. Fourth point here would be keyword relevancy. It really refers to how relevant or important certain keywords or phrases are to your listing page. Amazon A9 actually uses keyword relevancy to determine what your listing is all about, and that will be used to determine what keywords will actually rank when doing a product research. So, keyword research feature really offers you a relevancy score. SellerApp's feature actually does provide you with that. And we give you a relevancy score that really helps you determine if the keyword is worth it or not. And you will, find the scale ranging from low to very high out there. And again, a good formula for having, what a good keyword typically looks like would be having some long tail keywords, which are typically more than one word in length, a good search volume, so the average number of times a keyword is searched in a month, the impression rate, obviously, the average number of times your product ad was shown to a potential customer, and how closely your keyword really reflects your product. I think I've touched upon that. Along with the sudden shift in consumer search behavior. So these all comprise of a good keyword formula. Also now we'll talk about how how to do Amazon keyword research, and the indexing bit of it. So how to do a good word research, I will just give a few examples here and there. We can do a word research. Now, this may sound very obvious, but it's actually a great start your keyword research, and it's actually quite easy to do as well. So, just put yourself in the customer's shoes and take some time to think about their online shopping behavior and ask yourself these questions. When will they buy the product? What search terms they might use to really search your product? What are the questions that a potential customer may have about your product, and what related items they may also be looking at along simultaneously with your product. So you want to take a note of all of those keywords that come to your mind, and apart from this, you can also talk to people and check around social media and so on. If you have a website, then definitely check your Google rankings. I think that's a great way to also understand the shopping behavior of customers, and also want to see your website's ranking page. Amazon auto suggest. You also want to analyze your competitors' listing, because it's a great source to find potential keywords. And so you don't have to kind of reinvent the wheel all over again. You can use some of them that are really ranking better or higher than yours, and you can use them in your searches as well, and the keywords that you want to have for your product as well. Obviously, PPC campaigns, I will discuss this in a lot more detail later in the presentation, but PPC campaigns are a great source to get keywords. You can run automatic campaigns and let Amazon uncover all the relevant keywords that are relevant to your product for you, and then you can run a manual PPC campaign and get more unique and targeted keywords for your product. All right. Now, the importance of indexing on Amazon. Now, checking the indexing status of your listings for a well-converting keyword is absolutely an important practice, as it really ensures that your listings are, very well optimized. You want to increase the number of keywords that are indexed, increases really the chance of, potential customers finding your product, and also Amazon emphasizes sales and conversion rates more. So while indexing those keywords, concentrate more on the keywords with high conversion rates rather than high search volumes, because indexing is not just like a do it at once and forget it, put it at the back burner sort of a thing. It's actually an ongoing process that you need to keep checking the indexing of your keywords regularly. And Amazon continuously keeps making all of these changes to their algorithm. So there will be times when you find your product listing not being indexed, and you want to be abreast of all of that so you can change and fit those to be indexed according to Amazon. Some of the good checklists that you can also follow would be like making changes to your title, bullet points, back-end search terms, and so on. Okay, these are some of the factors also that would lead to you getting better ranking of your product. So obviously using good product images and videos. Now, product image quality really plays a very vital role in attracting potential customers to your product listings. Product images and videos are really the only visual representation of your product, and you really can't touch and feel the product. So while you're shopping online, it can be especially helpful describing the quality of the item. You can use, you have these use case scenarios, brand stories, storytelling, whatever that you want to use. And images and videos are really very vital to really help customer decide if that product is something that they're looking for or not. So, and they're like a bunch of guidelines that you can follow on what kind, what dimensions, what color background that you want to use for your images and videos and so on. A+ content. A+ content really allows brand owners to improve their product descriptions with additional content, images, videos, and so on. So it really helps you tell the story of your brand, of your product better, and also differentiate your product from your competitors. So the main objective of A+ content, I would say, is to really craft your brand story. And in order for you to really make use of this feature, you actually have to either be brand registered seller or an emerging seller who is part of Amazon's managed selling programs like a Launchpad or Amazon exclusives and so on. You can add A+ content only to the products that are part of your approved brand catalog, and a lot of other benefits also to using A plus content, right? It brings in more conversions and sales. It helps you fight counterfeits. It also helps you get better reviews and ratings and reproduce, those product returns and so on. So I think it's a great factor as well to help you rank better. Of course, I do want to talk about SellerApp listing optimization and some of the benefits that we offer to our users, of course, and how we help you improve the visibility of your listings. We have actionable insights and recommendations that help you with proven strategies and convert clicks to sales with detailed analysis, along with a listing quality score that will kind of determine whether your listing is appropriate or not, or that if you want to make changes to it. And why use SellerApp listing optimization? I think it's one of the ways, or automated ways, where you can really identify where your product listing stands vis-a-vis your competition, and also how to better that. It really closes the gap on your on-page strategy and maximize your profits with product listings built to compete. All right, I think now the most important part, I know this takes up most time in the presentation, so I kind of rushed up on the other bits so that I could spend more time on the PPC strategies, which will really help you rank high on these Amazon SERPs. So starting with strategy 1, start at the bottom and work your way up. What that typically means, am I audible? Sorry, I thought I lost.
No,
Can you
you're
hear me,
audible.
guys?
Yeah, we can hear you. Priyanka, this would be like a 5-minute thing. Warning, because we're running out of time a little bit. So take like 5 to 7 minutes on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll rush it up really quick. So start at the bottom and work your way up with keywords. Now, this sentence really holds good for Amazon sponsored products, whether you're launching a new product or, on Amazon, or you're just starting out as a new seller on Amazon per se. You should ideally launch your PPC campaigns with long tail keywords. And only after you've attained a certain level of mastery and success with these long tail keywords, you should really move up in that pecking order and go after the most generic, most searched, keywords per se. Run campaigns for your top child ASINs. Now, what this typically means is if you don't have the bandwidth to create a combined package for your variations, or running individual campaigns for all the variations, that you need to run a good PPC campaign only for the top performing variations. Now, again, this PPC strategy works really well provided the variations are listed as child ASINs. So, you may miss out on an increasing or average order and other perks that may come with grouping the products together, but will still be easier on your pocket and typically fairly more efficient. So the sales will eventually trickle down into the other options. And it's also because customers who visit your ads will also be able to see the variants that are available for the product in the same listing. And I would have given an example for that, but in the shortage of time and the essence of time, I'm going to rush through the third strategy here, which is structuring your ad campaigns based on product performance. So often we actually create ad campaigns that are based on the performance of keywords. Now, if we see a keyword that is really converting really well in an auto campaign, we move it to manual, and then we set match types or better control over bids and daily budget. Now, this has really proven to be a great strategy to improve your product's rank on Amazon. It can also be a bit tricky to really control the overall ACoS, simply because some of the products may require more clicks than the others to make a sale. So instead of creating campaigns based on keywords, I would recommend that you consider creating them based on the performance of the product. Also, you want to target your own products through product targeting ads. What that means is it's actually an advanced PPC strategy, and it's pretty ingenious the way to get exposure for your products on Amazon. So we've all heard of this beta feature called product targeting ads, and in case you're not aware of it, the option does allow you to target customers by specific products and categories. So think of product display ads, but with more control. So you can target specific ASINs, and your ads will be displayed on those on those product pages. So here's also how you can really use it to your advantage. So assuming you have multiple ASINs, you want to pick those products that are really struggling to get sales or conversions, or you have your low visibility within the Amazon search results. You want to create a product targeting ad for those underperforming products, and you can also target your top performing ASINs, the products that are bringing you the highest traffic and conversions for those ads. Or now the ads for those low sale products will also be displayed on the pages of your high performing ASINs. Hope that makes sense. It does have a lot of advantages, which I would have gone into if we had time. But quickly, I think customers will stay within the brand. That's primarily one of the most important things, as I mentioned earlier about the variant bit as well. So even if they don't like your product, they're reviewing, they may end up visiting a different product of yours on the same page, and it's likely to create, like, you can get a sale out of that. It's also likely to create an intricate web that kind of keeps all your customers within your brand. Target your competitor products for better visibility of sales. I have sort of covered this earlier in the presentation, but you want to identify competitor ASINs that are relevant to your product. You also, how do you want to identify now? How do you want to identify those? It would be through price, ratings, reviews, listings. You want to choose ASINs that have inferior listings. You want to choose products that are priced higher than yours. Ratings and reviews, of course, you want to choose ratings or ASINs that have lower ratings and fewer reviews than yours. And you want to run a manual campaign targeting those top competitor ASINs to capitalize on their visibility and improve the sales thereby. The last but not the least would be adjusting your bids by ad placements. So now Amazon has introduced to us a few features meant to enhance the way sellers would really bid in PPC auctions. This PPC strategy really allows you to optimize your campaigns with much more finesse, and also gives you more control over where you want your ads to appear and how much you're willing to pay for them. So obviously it deals with typically adjusting the bids based on placements of where you want your ad to be placed, which part of the page as well. So top of the search results, it could be within the rest of the research results, middle, bottom, or even in the second page of Amazon SERP and beyond, and also in the product details page and other positions of the search results like add to cart and page and so on. So for every campaign that you run on Amazon, you can view the placement report and see which of these positions really brought you the most exposure and conversions. And based on this insight, you can really set the placement bidding multiplier between 0 to 900% to further improve the odds of landing into a conversion, increasing your brand awareness. And there are multiple bid options that you have. You have dynamic bids, you have dynamic bids down only, up and down. You also have fixed bids, which is self-explanatory. I mean, you really pay exactly for what you did, and you don't make any adjustments to them, which are also probably they're based out of a likelihood of a sale and so on. Yeah, I think I would have explained bids, but are we good on time? Can I take 2 more minutes, Ria? Or are we good?
No,
Because I'm
go ahead.
done with my presentation as well.
You can take 2, Priyanka. That's okay.
Okay, so all right, I just want to quickly go through dynamic bids down only. That what typically happens is the bid gets lowered in real time in Amazon's algorithm, detect that the ad may be likely to convert, and dynamic bids up and down, it will be raised by a maximum of 900% in real time, provided the ad is more likely to lead to a sale. So, and similarly, the bids will reduce according to the same percentage as well when the ad is less likely to convert. So that's what I wanted to add with. And
Truly a masterclass, Priyanka. Check the link in the comment box. That video talks about adjusting bids by placement. So if you want to learn more about it, I think it's a fantastic way to target your bids, and also, of course, get the data that you really need from Amazon to strategize more on your PPC campaigns. All right. So I do not see any more questions in the comment box. I'm just gonna bring Kurt up on the panel right now, and we can, say our last few words before we end the session for the day. Hi, Kurt. Welcome back. Right.
Welcome
So
back. Yeah.
let's get started with the CTAs. Kurt, how can our viewers right now reach Seller Rocket, and how can they reach you?
Here, let me share my screen really quick. I got my contact information here.
Perfect. Waiting on that. There you go.
Right. Yeah.
We're on
So
the
sellerrocket.io, we have a ton of pop-ups that'll you'll get blasted with when you get there, asking you to reach out and contact us, or just send me an email, kurt@sellerrocket.io.
Sounds good. And if you want to reach uh, to us, SellerApp, and if you want to understand how you can run your PPC advertisements better, reach us to support@sellerapp.com. And also, Priyanka, do you want to talk about freemium and how SellerApp is now free for everyone? No hidden costs, by the way. So, do you want to speak a little bit about that?
No hidden costs, no credit card connects, all the primary features for free. So check us out, guys. Whether it's product intelligence, product research, keyword research, advertising, we offer everything for free. And yeah, please visit us. And we also create a lot of educational content for users, whoever is watching and beyond. So do visit. We have a channel to subscribe to us. And
All
yeah,
right.
you'll get lots of educational content out there.
Thank you. And I would like to thank both of you for being here. This was an amazing session. I personally learned a lot, and I'm sure our viewers right now have learned equally much. If you want to rewatch the session like Richard wanted to, I have posted a rewatch link, or you can come back to this link because we will be available for this video will be available for you to rewatch at any given point of time. And yeah, until the next time, I see you all. Happy selling. And Kurt and Priyanka, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room.
We
Yeah. Okay, before I end this session, I just wanted to let you all know that we have live sessions happening on our social media platforms every Monday and Thursday. So Mondays, if you want to understand how you can utilize SellerApp's freemium account better, or if you're just curious to understand how SellerApp freemium account works, you can join us at any social media platform on Mondays, and you can see us talking about that. And of course, anything Prime Day specific. Um, we talk about Prime Day specific lives every Thursday, or Amazon specific live. I saw a very interesting question. It says, how do we get paid? For freemium accounts, SellerApp is earning nothing. So it is for you to use, it is for you to grow. And once you hit a special threshold, or once you grow with SellerApp, we can talk about pricing. But don't worry about pricing right now. Grow your Amazon business for free with SellerApp using our freemium feature. And hopefully I will see you there. So, of course, this is all we have for today's session. And until the next time I see you guys, happy selling. I'm going to just play an outro. Give me a second.